everyone, it's one LNT Dragon here, and today I'm doing a Q&A, because why not? I asked some of y'all on Instagram and on my YouTube community tab if you'd be interested in even watching a Q&A, because once upon a time, like 3 years ago, I tried doing a Q&A, because people had asked me to do one, and then when I asked people for questions, all the people who said they wanted to see a Q&A had 0 questions for me. So, that's great. Anywho, this time I actually got questions, but I asked y'all if you even were interested in watching it first, and a lot of you said okay. So, here we are. Also, I don't know what this lighting is like. It seems very dark back here. That was not my intentions. I'm just gonna leave it alone and forget it. No, actually, am I gonna forget it? Anywho, let's just get started. I'm gonna answer all of the super simple questions first that I can answer in like 2 seconds, and then go into questions that will involve slightly more in-depth explanations or answers. Favorite scent? Anything mint. I'm just obsessed with mint. Literally anything with the word mint in it. Spearmint, peppermint, winter mint. I love it all. Taste and scent. Like, I love everything minty. Favorite song currently? What is your favorite song? At the moment, I really don't know what my favorite song is. There's not really been a lot of music that's been released as of recently that I've been all that obsessed with, I guess. Don't know, just nothing's really greatly appealed to me, but I'll do a quick thing showing you a few seconds of some of my songs that I'm currently listening to, I guess, the most.
The light inside your eyes is fading out, but I'm not gonna give up on you now. Don't be afraid. I know you think you're on your own, but you'll be okay. You don't have to go through it alone. Even the stars need the dark to shine.
I met your demons, but they do not scare me. I know they'll be angels once they learn to fly. I've seen all your seasons, your cold Februaries. I know you'll be blooming in a matter of time. What I'm saying is I get you, nothing we can't get through. If I see you going down that road, then I won't let you. I'll catch you, no matter how far you fall.
Losing my mind, not logical, but crazy can feel incredible. I'm closing my eyes and letting myself go. I'm jumping in with my heart first. 99 times out of 10, I'm all inside of my head.
I also have all of my Spotify playlists on public, if any of you are interested in that. I tend to regularly update and add songs and change songs and whatever in the playlists I have, so I'll link it down below if any of you care to check that out, I guess, if you're interested that greatly in the songs that I listen to. What is your favorite Star Wars movie and why? My favorite Star Wars movie is The Last Jedi. I just love it. It's such a fresh Star Wars movie, if that makes any sense. I don't really know. I had went into The Last Jedi completely blind. I didn't remember anything from The Force Awakens when I went and saw it. I didn't even really see any of the trailers. The only thing I really knew about The Last Jedi was the whole Porgs thing, because that was in like all of the TV ads for it was Porgs, and it was on all of the merchandise and everything. But like, I really didn't know what to expect out of it, and when I saw it, it was just like, I don't know, such a different Star Wars movie, but it still felt like Star Wars to me. Like, I just, it was a fresh thing. I can't explain it. The Last Jedi, even regardless of it being Star Wars, is just a movie in general that I personally can rewatch like 100,000 times over again and not really get bored of it. I love it. Yeah, that's it. Most underrated Star Wars movie. Hear me out. I kind of think that one of the more underrated Star Wars movies is The Force Awakens. I don't really think that the Star Wars movies, any of them in particular, are that underrated per se. But when I look at like the sequel franchise of the Star Wars movies, I feel like The Force Awakens has kind of like, it's not talked about as much. Everyone is so caught up in like The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker that I feel like The Force Awakens just kind of exists in the sequel franchise. And like when it came out, obviously it like brought back the Star Wars franchise and it was like a big deal. But like now, I feel like there's been such a war in the Star Wars community over The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker and just different stuff that I feel like The Force Awakens has kind of gotten like, I don't know, buried under all of that, and it's just kind of like, oh yeah, that was a fine movie, that was okay, whatever, but then you either love The Last Jedi and hate The Rise of Skywalker or vice versa, or there are people that like all three, but like, I don't know. I don't particularly think any of them are that underrated, but I guess The Force Awakens a little bit. Underrated characters. I think that Padme is one of the most underrated characters in Star Wars. I don't know, like, every time Star Wars does anything with like their female characters, they either use Rey because she's the newest female that's like popular, or they use Leia because she's like the classic. But I feel like they always kind of overshadow Padme, and she is a queen, quite literally, and like she's amazing. Like, I love her. She is my favorite female Star Wars character over Rey. Like, I love Rey, but I have loved Padme for a lot longer. I was Padme for Halloween one year, and like I love her. She is amazing, and I think she is quite underrated, unfortunately. How many times have you watched The Last Jedi? I couldn't tell you. I really don't know. I mean, realistically, I feel like I haven't watched it as much as I've really just re-seen the Reylo scenes from The Last Jedi like 100,000 times over because of the fact that I've edited with the scenes from that movie so much. But like, the amount of times that I've actually realistically sat down and watched it. I love that. That's great. Moving on. The amount of times that I feel like I've realistically watched it have maybe averaged between anywhere from 50 to like 100. That sounds very vague, but like, I'm not sure. It's definitely my most viewed Star Wars movie out of all of them. If you could travel to only 3 countries, where would you go? Okay, first off, I'd go to New Zealand because I have friends there and I'd love to meet them, and New Zealand just, yeah. Second would be the United Kingdom. There are a lot of places in the UK that I'd love to go. I'd be very interested in going to the UK. And the third place would be Ireland. I really would love to go to Ireland. It looks so pretty. It sounds so pretty. Like, I'd really love to go to Ireland. If you met Adam Driver, what would you ask him? If I met Adam Driver, I don't think I'd be able to talk or make sentences. I'm really not sure. I honestly don't have any specific questions I feel like I'd want to ask him. Like, I feel like a lot of things that I'd be curious about, I could find in an interview somewhere. Like, I just don't know what I'd ask. If I personally met him, I'd probably just get starstruck and freeze and just be like, oh my gosh, you're standing Like, I really have no idea what I'd ask. How did you start editing? What got you into it? I started editing when I was 13. I started editing because I had gotten bored and I found the program Windows Movie Maker on my computer and I was just messing around with it, playing with it, doing random stuff on it. The first video I ever remember making was a slideshow of Club Penguin pictures that I had saved with one of the songs that Club Penguin had released on their website for you to download for free, and I just kind of compiled them into a video, and that's the first video I remember making. I don't think I have the video anymore. I know I don't. I wish I did, but I don't. But yeah, and then about a year later, when I was 14, I started YouTube, and now I've done YouTube for 5 years this September, and I've been editing for 6 years this year. Just editing in general in like a different span of programs, progressively getting into like higher end programs. I went from Windows to using Vegas to now I'm using DaVinci Resolve. At some point I will maybe try and see about using Avid. I have Avid. I have access to Avid. But Avid is used in like big movies, and I'm not sure if I want to go into editing movies or if I want to stay with editing kind of like more freelance type stuff, like music videos or lyrics videos. I love to do trailers. Maybe that's why they're in Avid, is to do movie trailers. I'm not 100% sure, but also to put into perspective, I was 13 when I started and I turned 19 this year, if anyone's curious in the slightest. What was the video that you are proudest of, that took you the longest, that paid the most? I'm going to answer each of these like individually as separate questions. The video that I am the most proud of is actually one of my least viewed videos on YouTube. It's the DC video I made with the song Champion by Carrie Underwood. I had seen Shazam and I came home and instantly was like, that's it, I'm doing a superhero edit. And like, it's unfortunately one of my least viewed videos, but I personally love it the most. If y'all care to watch it, that'd make me kind of happy. The video that I personally remember taking me the longest is the How to Train Your Dragon video I made with the song Revolution. It took me about a solid 2 weeks to work on it, and I distinctly remember working on it like every single day throughout the span of 2 weeks for multiple hours a day because I was obsessed with it and I wanted to get the story of it perfect. I didn't even add animations to it or a bunch of fancy stuff. I just was that invested in making sure that the story made sense and that it played out really well, and it's a video that I am very proud of. There is one line, however, from the franchise that I was gonna put into it that I didn't, and I got rid of it, and every time I watch it, it bugs me, and I always just imagine that line playing at the spot that I cut it out of. Don't know why I cut it out. That was a rookie mistake on my part, but whatever. I don't think anyone cares. No one knew I was gonna put it in, obviously, so like, there's no way to know or care. But yeah, that's the video that definitely took the longest. And in terms of getting paid, I don't get paid on YouTube. I don't have enough channel views, firstly. Secondly, I just do this because I love it. Like, I do fan stuff, and I can't get paid for it, but I'm okay with it, because I just have fun editing with it. I'm not on YouTube to become famous. I'm just here because it's fun, and I enjoy doing it, and I like it, and editing is great. And I do love getting comments on my edits and stuff. It is nice to see when I am able to touch people through doing edits and things. That is something I do very much value and cherish. It's not something I'm really on here to get like a full-time job for or anything, so I think that's gonna do it for the questions I'm gonna answer in this video. Thank you so much for clicking on this if you did. If you enjoy a random assortment of Relo and whatever other movies I feel like editing, feel free to subscribe. I have all the fandoms I'm in my About page if you're interested in the other things that I potentially will edit once in a while when it's not related to Raylo or Star Wars. But, yep. Thanks for watching.